What does this road sign mean? A. You must turn right. B. No right turns permitted. C. Right turns permitted on a red light. B. No right turns permitted. This sign prohibits right turns. It is illegal to turn right at an intersection where this sign is posted. If you are about to be hit from the rear, you should not: A. Release your seat belt. B. Brace yourself. C. Press your head against the head restraint. A. Release your seat belt. If your vehicle is hit from the rear while you are in forward motion, your body will be thrown backward. Brace yourself by pressing against the back of your seat and putting your head against the head restraint to prevent whiplash. Maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel and be ready to apply your brakes to avoid being pushed into another vehicle. Only fill in the blank can reduce blood alcohol content, BAC, and alcohol's effects on the body. A. Drinking caffeine. B. Eating foods high in fat. C. Time. C. Time. Only the passage of time can remove alcohol and its impairing effects from the body. At intersections with a yield sign, you must: A. Yield the right-of-way to cross traffic that is near enough to cause conflict. B. Yield the right-of-way only to vehicles on your right. C. Always slow down and proceed without stopping. A. Yield the right-of-way to cross traffic that is near enough to cause conflict. At a yield sign, you must slow down or stop, if necessary, and give the right-of-way to crossing or merging vehicles. Yield the right-of-way to any cross traffic that is close enough to cause conflict.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
A fluorescent pink sign. A. Indicates a school zone. B. Warns of an emergency traffic incident. C. Is prohibitive. B. Warns of an emergency traffic incident. Fluorescent pink signs warn of emergency traffic incidents. Use caution when driving near a fluorescent pink sign. Which of the following statements is correct? A. Use your left foot to brake. B. Use your right foot for both braking and accelerating your vehicle. C. You should always brake abruptly to ensure stopping. This sign means: A. Traffic signal ahead. B. Stop. C. Yield the right-of-way. A. Traffic signal ahead. This sign warns of an approaching traffic signal. This sign means: A. Curves ahead. B. Divided highway starts. C. Divided highway ends. C. Divided highway ends. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns that the divided highway ends ahead. Prepare to change lanes or shift lane position. No zones are areas around trucks where cars: A. Disappear into blind spots or are so close that they restrict the truck driver's ability to stop and maneuver safely. B. Have sufficient space to travel behind the truck. C. Have several car lengths between their vehicle and the truck. A. Disappear into blind spots or are so close that they restrict the truck driver's ability to stop and maneuver safely. No zones are areas around trucks or buses in which cars disappear into the larger vehicle's blind spots. No zones can also be defined as areas in which cars are so close to the larger vehicle that they restrict the truck or bus driver's ability to stop and maneuver safely. A car being in a no zone greatly increases the potential for a crash. When a car with bright headlights drives toward you at night, you should A. Stop until the other driver passes. B. Look below their headlights. C. Glance toward the right edge of your lane. C. Glance toward the right edge of your lane. To avoid being blinded when driving at night, do not look directly at the headlights of oncoming cars. Instead, look toward the right edge of the road until the oncoming driver has passed. Children on bicycles should be given extra space by motor vehicle operators because A. They do not have the same physical reflexes as adults. B. They are smaller and more difficult to see than adults. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. Children are often the least predictable pedestrians and the most difficult pedestrians to see. Take extra care to look out for children, especially near schools, bus stops, playgrounds, parks, and ice cream trucks. Be aware of children riding bikes on the sidewalk, as they may come onto the road unexpectedly. If another driver is fill in the blank, they are exhibiting a potential sign of road rage. A. Using their turn signal. B. Tailgating. C. Yielding the right of way. B. Tailgating. Some signs that a driver near you is driving aggressively are that they are tailgating, speeding, changing lanes erratically, and/or failing to follow signs and signals. If you encounter an aggressive driver, the best thing to do is to get out of their path. Prior to entering a curve. A. Activate your turn signal. B. Reduce your speed. C. Brake hard. B. Reduce your speed. You may drive more slowly than the posted speed limit, based on road conditions, but it is illegal to drive any faster than the posted speed limit. Some conditions which require reduced speed for safety include approaching curves or hills where visibility is limited, driving on slippery roads, and driving on roads where animals and pedestrians are present. Just like alcohol and other drugs, drowsiness can A. Help you to be a better driver. B. Make you feel better. C. Impair your judgment. C. Impair your judgment. Not getting enough sleep is a cause of poor driving behavior. Just like drugs and alcohol, sleepiness slows reaction time, decreases awareness, and impairs judgment. If you are approaching an emergency vehicle that is stopped while it uses its visual signals, you should A. Ask the emergency workers if they need your help. B. Increase your speed to get around the incident quickly. C. Move into the lane farthest from the vehicle or decrease your speed. C. Move into the lane farthest from the vehicle or decrease your speed. If you are approaching an emergency vehicle that is using its visual signals and is stopped on a roadway, you must pull into an available lane not immediately adjacent to the vehicle. If it is not possible to move over, you must slow down to a safe speed and be prepared to stop if necessary. Highway pavement will be particularly treacherous and most slippery. A. If it has been raining several hours. B. If it has just begun to rain. C. if it has been raining for 1 to 2 hours. B. If it has just begun to rain. Pavement is particularly treacherous when it first begins to rain. Accumulations of dirt and oil mix with the rainwater, creating a greasy film on the roadway. If you come to an intersection and your view to the side is blocked, you should A. Slow down and look both ways. B. Maintain your speed and look both ways. C. Stop, then inch forward until you can see clearly in both directions. C. Stop, then inch forward until you can see clearly in both directions. Drivers must slow down when approaching an intersection. If a clear view of cross traffic is obscured, a driver should come to a stop and inch forward until they can see clearly in both directions. Sudden wind gusts on highways. A. Generally affect only the movement of large vehicles. B. Only cause visibility problems. C. Can cause problems for all vehicles. C. Can cause problems for all vehicles. While it can create special problems for large vehicles, strong wind can cause problems for all drivers. Wind can lower visibility by blowing dirt and dust into the roadway, but it can sometimes also physically move a vehicle. If pedestrians are illegally crossing in the middle of the street instead of in a crosswalk, you A. Must stop for them. B. Do not have to stop for them. C. Should honk your horn at them. A. Must stop for them. You must yield to pedestrians at all times. If the pedestrians are jaywalking or crossing the street where they should not be, you must still stop for them. Implied consent means A. You must submit to a requested chemical test to determine your blood alcohol concentration (BAC). B. You will submit to a field sobriety test to determine impairment. C. You will submit to a physical examination before licensure. If you drive faster than other vehicles on a road with one lane moving in each direction and continually pass the other cars, you will A. Get you to your destination much more quickly and safely. B. Increase your chances of an collision. C. Help prevent traffic congestion. B. Increase your chances of an collision. You should avoid passing other vehicles on two-lane roads. Every time you pass a vehicle, your odds of being in a collision increase. If you can see that the roadway up ahead is covered by heavy smoke, you should A. Turn on your four-way flashers and continue. B. Reduce your speed, move as far to the right as possible, and stop off the roadway. C. Turn on your high-beam headlights and continue. B. Reduce your speed, move as far to the right as possible, and stop off the roadway. If you notice that the road ahead is covered by heavy smoke, reduce your speed immediately, drive as far as possible to the right, and stop off the roadway. Only then should you determine if it is safe for you to continue. Remember that certain kinds of smoke can irritate your eyes and lungs or even kill you. A driver is responsible for ensuring that any child under the age of 8 and shorter than fill in the blank be seated in a federally approved child passenger safety device system while in a moving vehicle. A. 5 feet, 5 inches. B. 4 feet, 11 inches. C. 4 feet, 9 inches. C. 4 feet, 9 inches. Maryland law requires children who are under the age of 8 and less than 4 feet, 9 inches in height to be seated in federally approved child safety seats while in moving vehicles. The driver of a vehicle transporting child passengers is responsible for their safety. At a stop sign, you A. may continue without stopping if no other cars or pedestrians are nearby. B. should complete a rolling stop. C. must come to a complete stop. C. must come to a complete stop. When approaching a stop sign, a driver must come to a complete stop before proceeding. After stopping, when it is safe to do so, the driver may then continue through the intersection. What is a potential effect of taking a prescription drug while drinking alcohol? A. There will likely be no effect. B. It will make you more alert. C. It can make you unfit to drive. C. It can make you unfit to drive. Legal medications, both prescription and over-the-counter, can impair your ability to drive. They can be particularly dangerous when used in combination with alcohol.